Hello, welcome to an academy. This is the next lecture in continuation to the series regarding preparation of history for civil services examination. In this lecture, we will cover how to prepare medieval Indian history for civil service examination for those who have not taken history as an optional. Those who have not seen the previous videos, let me introduce myself briefly. Myself, Gaurav Gupta, I got AIR 117 in Civil Services Examination 2013. I did my engineering from IIT Kanpur, and after that I started a company. And after giving 5.5 years to that, I started to take to I decided to take the next challenge of my life in the form of civil services examination and took history as an optional. Before beginning, uh, let us make this interact our this initiative more interactive, and so that we can more uh, have a little interaction apart from the usual video learning. So here is an interesting question for you guys. Why do you think Rajput kings were not able to deter the foreign invasions like Gori and Ghazni? You have to think in terms of as a historian and analyze the facts, relate with the events, and then try to answer this. Your answer should be in point format in the comments below, and let us see if you can get it right. I mean, there is no one single answer, but there are certain multiple answers. But let us see that if you can get all of them right. So let us begin our lecture. We have already seen in the previous lecture that we must study the official syllabus very carefully. So main syllabus for general studies contains Indian culture and modern Indian history and post-independence consolidation and history of world. So in the Indian culture part, the medieval Indian history fits, and also there are certain questions which are asked in prelims from medieval Indian history. So which are related to art, architecture, literature, and all. So considering this, uh, we will see that how to prepare his medieval Indian history and from which sources. So medieval Indian history, things to read are common for prelims and mains, mainly related to culture topics, art, architecture, and literature, as we have seen earlier. So we shall deal with medieval Indian history in this video. Let us move on. First, we should see that what type of questions are asked in the exam. To successfully prepare for this exam, you have to find out that what kind of questions are asked so that you know what to read and what not to read. This is very important from time management point of view, because this is everything from the civil services point of view. You can cover 80% of this syllabus in 20% by putting 20% of the effort, and for extra 20% of this level you have to put 80% of the effort. So first focus should be on how to put 20% effort to cover 80% syllabus. So if you see the pattern, there are certain questions related to literature and philosophical developments like Bhakti movement, Sufi movements, development of languages like Urdu, Bengali, regional languages, and art like music, dance, etc. Architecture, key architecture styles in their evolution like Nagara, Vasara, and Dravida, and there are certain regional variations to that. So to see that, you have to see very carefully the last 3 year principal and last 5 year general studies paper, even if they are from the older pattern related to history and medieval Indian history in particular. However, I would also like to tell very fair very categorically and frankly that medieval India is not so much important for prelims and as well as for mains compared to ancient and modern India. But we cannot ignore it because we cannot predict the UPSC. So this is very important. So, what are the sources from where you can refer to medieval Indian history? I refer to old NCRT book, which I found pretty well. But I also seen that Tamil Nadu board book is also very good for prelims purpose. Then you can refer to Facets of Indian Culture by Spectrum and read these two chapters in particular: religion and philosophy, architecture, art and craft. Then you can also refer selective essays from Cultural History of India by A.L. Bhasham, especially for mains purpose, and especially I would recommend to read these essays like Medieval Hindu Devotionalism, Sikhism, Islam in Medieval India, Medieval Indian Literature. Here I would like to give certain important topics which you should try to cover, and you can treat these topics as a kind of as a checklist kind of thing, and make sure that at least you cover these topics from medieval India, even if you do not cover it in entirety or something. Like Sultanate period society, culture, art and architecture, contours of Vijayanagar Empire, key wars, not Battle of Talikota, battles of Panipat, Bhakti ideology, Sufi ideology, Mughal art, architecture, music and society, contribution of Akbar and important Mughal emperors, fall of Mughal Empire, struggle between French and British forces. And at the same time, it is also very important to know what not to read, like petty wars, political war, conspiracies, succession wars, which are not important. The small regional empires in their details that they are not important. Facts is the name of the small kings, small wars. These are not important. Mostly questions are asked analytical, which require some kind of knowledge testing, not the memory testing. There is some kind of memory testing, but not too much. So, as uh, we said, that please try to answer the question in comments which we asked in the beginning of the video, and I will also try to put my perspective of the answer. And you can always like, share, and subscribe by clicking on the Unacademy logo. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel. Wonderful initiative, and you can tweet to me to contact me, or you can also go to my blog and interact with me.